What's up, guys? Week 7 of the Wink Weekly here. On with us this week, we have our guest, Mr. Nick Latouf.
Thanks for having me, gents. Good to be on.
As always, Victor Rodriguez is on the show with us.
Rising up.
Rising up. It's the first time Victor's ever been above 500 for 2 weeks straight, so yeah, we got to really celebrate. We got to really celebrate this. First up, Vic is going to catch us up on waiver activity for the week and trades, so we will let him have at that. Tell us what you think, Vic.
All right, so waiver wire, we had a big one this week, and you'll find that waiver wire transactions be more, more traction now as we get closer going to playoffs. People are starting to make their playoff build. I'll just start off with mine on why I picked up Paul Richardson. He has more touchdowns for the Seahawks than any other wide receiver. It's supposed to be Doug Baldwin, but it's like they kind of switched that role, and he's now Russell Wilson's favorite target. And he's actually, it surprised me when I looked it up last night, he's actually ranked the number 11th wide receiver right now. So I thought that was pretty good. Just me not having any wide receivers, why not? And then you have Tiger. He picked up Josh McCown. I actually had him as my number one priority, just so I could get paid ammo, so I can try and trade something. And then Billy as well picked up Eli Manning, both of them not having any quarterbacks. So if y'all could probably reach out to them if y'all do have an excess amount of quarterbacks and grab one of those guys. But also, I just want to add, Jaron, he picked up a wide receiver that's on a bye, so that kind of lets you know how his season's going. And then, so I just wanted to throw that out there. And then Cody, I got contact with him last night on him getting Collins. I seen that he was in the second on the waiver priority, and I seen that he was needing a wide receiver, and I know he liked Gant, so I thought that was a perfect match. So I'm obviously needing a running back. Hopefully I won't, but not 9% sure Zeke's suspended. And then Chris getting Kenyon Drake, the new running back for the Miami Dolphins. As we've seen yesterday, Ajayi was traded to those dreaded Philadelphia Eagles.
All right, there you go. My trade, if you're curious about me and Terrence trading and then trading again for the same guy that we traded for originally, it was a little bit of a confusion there, and I looked back and looked at the conversation, and I felt like it was my fault, the misunderstanding there. So I thought we had a deal for Hilton and for Derrick Henry, and it was actually should have been for Thielen and Derrick Henry, so that's the reason we flipped back. I don't want you guys to think that we're just passing guys back and forth. The conversation was mixed up on my end, and I agreed to it, but I missed that I agreed to Thielen instead of Hilton, so that's my fault. But
I actually prefer that because now he's got to go to the waiver wire and find a wide receiver as I'm playing Terrence this week.
Yeah, Thielen's on bye, obviously, so I'm in a little bit of a pickle with that too. I need a tight end, so anybody wants to shoot me tight end bids, this is my silent pitch for that right now. But we will go ahead and roll on to matchups for the week. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to do Hodges and Billy's game. First up, Team Belichick mate against the Hood Rats. We're going to let our guest roll out and tell us what he thinks about this matchup. So with that being said, Nick, go ahead and let us know your thoughts.
Well, with the conversation on the chat throughout the week, kind of seemed that John may be kind of checking out. He started off hot with the year, but he's had some struggles, so I don't know. A lot of questions over there in his camp. Billy's got a good team. I played him last week. He put up some good numbers. He does have a few out. He's got Le'Veon Bell out. And I'm not big on Jonathan Stewart. I had him previously early in the year. Victor had him earlier in the year. He's kind of bounced around. He's been underproductive this year, so not big on that. D. Hopkins is coming around. I like Billy in this one for sure.
B-Rod, what do you think, man?
Yeah, I was looking at it, and I'll just start off with John. He has Lamar Miller going against Indianapolis, and he has Marvin Jones against Green Bay. I personally like Marvin Jones. But also, I like to side note Julio Jones. He's going against Carolina this week, who is the second in total defense. But Julio, over the career that he's played, Carolina has an average of 104.8 yards per game. So I like that. But I look over at Billy's. He has Hopkins, and on per game basis, Hopkins is the number 2 wide receiver right now. and surprised that the number one wide receiver per game basis is Will Fuller on the other side of him. So they got some high-powered offense over there. But another side note, I like Billy with Robbie Anderson. I think it's going to be close, but I have the Hood Rats pulling this one out.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. I got the Hood Rats pulling out, but I do think it's going to be close. I'm curious to see what Alfred Morris is going to be able to do, obviously, now with the new news that Zeke's going to be 6 games out. He just needs to sit it, in my opinion. I'd like to think that's what they're going to do. If Le'Veon Bell was playing, I think it'd be Billy in a slam dunk. But I think it's close, but I am going to end up taking Billy too. So clean sweep on that for all 3 of us, rolling with Billy for the week there. In the second matchup that we're going to talk about today, 4th down firepower against It Hurts So Good, we've got Mr. Cody Powell against Joe Tiger. Cody did suffer that loss last week, surprisingly, but Vic, I'm going to throw it to you and let you discuss this game first for us.
All right, I'm going to start off with Tiger. Tiger, he is a guy that was once previously on the Miami Dolphins when he made the trade with Mike Green, and now he's on the Philadelphia Eagles. The Philadelphia Eagles, I want to start. Ajayi has a bad matchup going against Denver D, and the Eagles have been in the red zone 12 times this year. LeGarrette Blount only had 1 touchdown while they were inside the 5, but also they're top 3 in negative yards inside the 5. So that kind of hints why they made that trade, to kind of flush Blount out, and he's on a friendly deal. But I still think Ajayi, he has a bad matchup, and Funches is now the number 1 wide receiver. And this is a trade he also acquired from Mike Green, so that's kind of, we'll see where that goes. But Funches is now the number 1. Again, with Carolina, we've seen how Cam Newton played without Kelvin Benjamin, obviously MVP season, but this is a different year and a different Cam Newton. And then you have you have Thomas going against Tampa Bay, and you imagine Grimes going to be on him, but the height just isn't there for Grimes. But I do have Cody pulling this because I think Prescott steps up when Zeke is out. Again, he has big play potential against Tampa Bay. But Tampa Bay, they're kind of used to practice against that with Deshaun Jackson. And Seattle, I feel like they're going to bottle up Chris Thompson. And Seattle D, going against Washington, Dallas just put up 20 points against Washington. So I think Cody wins this one. It's still close, but I think Cody wins this one.
Yeah, I'm with you on this matchup. I got Cody pulling it out. He'll add a kicker there, I think, and put him over the top as far as the actual projections go. But projections don't mean a whole lot. The only matchup really that the wide receiver position for Tiger is better suited in this matchup than what Cody's got for me. If he could get Michael Thomas and Funches to put up some serious points there, he may have a shot at pulling that out. But I think it's going to be a close matchup. But I think Prescott, Gurley, in the end, I think those 2 guys are going to put up 40 points together, 45 points together. It's just going to be too much for Tiger to overcome this week, which is helpful for me because Tiger's right on my tail for the division. Let's make that clear. So I got a dog in the hunt, I guess, for this one. But I am rolling with Cody for that matchup. So, Mr. Latoof, what do you think?
I wouldn't disagree with you guys. I think Tiger takes advantage of Cody's bye week players. I mean, Cody's got Antonio Brown, Ben Roethlisberger, and Amendola on byes. I think that really hurts Cody. He does have Kelsey. He's playing in Dallas. Kelsey has a potential to have another big game, but I'm not sold on it. I think Funches. I was big on him last year. I think the trade that they just did puts him ahead. He's a big, tall wide receiver. I think he gets in the end zone. And then the Jets tank is off, so I'm not sure what they're doing up there in New York, but I think Josh McCown has a pretty decent game, and then I think Tiger edges Cody with the bye week players.
Hope you're right on that.
There you go. I hope you're wrong on that. I hope Tiger's losing that game.
Man, so much help.
The third matchup that we've got for the week is Ganaway against UV Rod. In case you missed it, greatest of all time against the franchise. I will kick this one off for the week. Vic's been on quite the roll for me. But with that being said, I think that for the week, the matchups for Terrence suit him better in my opinion. Russell Wilson obviously exploded last week. I don't know that he's going to explode like that again against Washington, but I think he's going to put up solid numbers and be in that top 3 or 4 quarterbacks for the week. Fournette's going off. Baldwin's been playing really well. So I'm going to take Terrence to pull this out. He does have a couple different guys on bye. He's got 4 guys on bye, which makes it a little bit of a challenge for him. But I think it kind of teed up to where his matchups work out better. For me, Vic, the only way you're able to pull that off is if Tyrod goes out there and can match pound for pound what Wilson does. But I am going to roll with Terrence beating you this week. Nick, what do you think, man?
Yeah, I think the suspension from Zeke really hurts Vic's chances. Freeman's also questionable, so the running back is an issue for Victor this week. And then Gronk's on a bye too, so I think Terrence capitalizes on that. He'll probably get Fournette back after the bye. If Fournette's in the lineup, I think Terrence wins this is pretty good. Wilson's got a pretty good matchup at home against Washington, so I think Terrence edges this one out big for it.
And this is the part of the segment, Vic, where we let you tell us why we're wrong.
Well, my team's been fighting all year, so this is another week, nothing new. I'll start off with Terrence. I think him trading away Alex Smith was a good thing for him because I think Wilson's probably a top 3 quarterback, if not top quarterback from here on out with his schedule. And he's got a great running back core. I expect him to have all that set up. And then Vernon Davis, just one of those breaks with Reed most likely out for this week. Vernon, I expect him to do a little bit of something over there against Seattle. He does have to go find a wide receiver, so hopefully I can take advantage of that. He picks something out of that bunch and gets him nothing. And then for me, that Kelvin Benjamin, I like it for Tyrod Taylor. On a per points basis, Taylor is a top 10 quarterback. And then Freeman, he's questionable, but it's just a stinger, and we've all had that. But what does scare me is Kuechly playing. And then Kupp, I like having him back. He's just one of my pet wide receivers that I like with all the red zone. He's had over 10 red zone targets for the year, so I think he gets in the end zone. And then, but what I don't like, even though I just traded for him, is Collins, and I have both the Ravens running back, is Tennessee has allowed 3-point yards per carry for running back. So I don't like my chances there, even though I do need a running back. But I wrote it on here, Monday Night Football Miracle, because I have the Detroit Lions and Matt Prater.
Well, there you go. Vic trying to tell us why we're wrong, but as you guys know, I'm usually right, so we'll go with that.
One time you're wrong, though.
That's true. The fourth matchup we've got of the week, I'll kick this off. This is an easy one for me. I think this is a rout. I got Mike Green just putting it on Jaron in pretty much every position. We could get to the end of the week, and every single position for Green outscores every position for Jaron. I like every matchup better than I like Jaron's. Maybe the kicker and the defense position, and kickers are people too. I get it, but it's gonna be bad. I think Green just puts it on him pretty good in this one. Even the bench, every position on the bench is gonna outscore every position on Jaron's bench. So I'm rolling this week with Mike Green. Vic, tell us what you think.
So Jaron, I think his biggest asset right now is the Eagles' defense. Brock Osweiler was named the starter this week for Denver, so I think that might be his best play. But New Orleans, Drew Brees doesn't start to be what he was in previous years. I think they're more relying on Kamara and Ingram getting that done. And then he has Coleman. I like Coleman. And then since Fournette's back, I don't anticipate Ivory being anything relevant. And then Foreman, he could get in. It's only if Houston are so big up on the Colts, I can only see him doing that. And then Sanders, he's back, but unfortunately his quarterback is Brock Osweiler, so that's why I'm going to take Green. Yeah, the Houston, because he basically has Houston's team going against Indianapolis, and then he also smartly picked up Houston's kicker, which is the number 1 offense in the NFL right now.
Nick, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm going to go with you guys on this one. Jaron's team's a little lackluster, and then the info that Vic shared with us at the beginning of this, him picking up a receiver on a bye week, just kind of seals the deal for me. Deshaun Watson's going to have a big game in Indy, and Mike's entire team is healthy and ready to go. So definitely take Mike in this.
And it still got me perplexed that Deshaun Watson is so good. If you've watched him play, he is just making every call the right way. It's crazy to me. But hey, who am I? I'm not an NFL football player. That's who I'm not. So the fifth matchup of the week. It's not game of the week. I know you guys thought that me and Nick were going to be game of the week. We're not. We're the fifth matchup of the week. Me against Nick. At this point, I'm going to make the case as to why I think I'm going to win. Then Nick's going to make the case as to why he thinks he's going to win, and then we're going to let Vic tell us who he thinks is going to win.
Persuade me.
Yeah, obviously. So I made a run. I got Alex Smith. I needed help at the quarterback position. Cam had great weeks, but he had just too much inconsistency for me. I like Alex Smith's road down the way. I think Russell Wilson, like you said, I think Russ is going to be the top 3 or top 5 quarterback from here on out, but I think Alex Smith is too. So that's why I made the play to go for Smith. My weak spot, obviously, is tight end. I've been struggling there. I'm in need. Jordan Howard's on bye this week, so that hurts me a little bit. But I like Frank Gore. I think he's been steady Eddie, easy, consistent to go to. And then I think Aguilar scores again this week, so I think that flex spot is going to help me actually pull this matchup out. But Nick, tell me why I'm wrong.
Well, kickers and punters, they are people too.
They are.
Yeah. I think this game is going to be tight. I got a lot of favorable matchups, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I think the game decision here is going to be Justin Tucker going ham at Tennessee. He's going to cook 3-4 field goals. They're just going to have a big game there. But seriously, I think Adrian Peterson goes into San Francisco, has a good game. Larry Fitz, same thing, San Francisco. And then the Jaguars playing Cincinnati. I think those are some key elements that I have that may give me a slight edge over Toll this week. I think it'll be close. We've been in a lot of close matchups all year. And it comes down to quarterback play, too, a little bit. If I can get Derek Carr to give me a decent game, it's been hot and cold all year. Consistency has been my kind of downfall. I've lost a lot of close ones. But got a good team, healthy. All my bye week players are gone. So I think I edge it this week, Toll, but it'll be close.
There you go. All right, Vic, who you got?
All right, so I'll start off with Nick. I like that Kelvin Benjamin was traded, obviously, to Buffalo to help me out. But I've already checked in on this. Kelvin Benjamin, sorry, Nick, is most likely not to play. He has a physical today. The plane takes off, actually, today. So I don't have KB. And if he does play, he's just going to be in there for the red zone. But that's all you need. And then Fitzgerald, I like his matchup. But anytime Fitzgerald has had a quarterback that's not named Carson Palmer, he has never had a 100-yard game. And then I do like Peterson.
He never had a 100-yard game with Kurt Warner?
I'm talking about in the last 10 games.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Right.
Yeah. Pardon me. The last 10 games without Carson Palmer. But I hope you're wrong about Justin Tucker because that means that my running backs did get in the end zone. But I do like Evan Ingram this week going against the Rams and the Jaguars D. Obviously, I tried trading for him. There's a reason why. But I'm going to go with Tull. And it's just because his core all around it's well put together. I do notice that every team that he has is an away game, so that could work to your advantage. And I hope that I am wrong on this because if Toll does get passed up by Tiger, then that means he falls in the wild card slot, so I don't want to be in that battle going back and forth with that whole division. I think Nelson Aguilar struggles against Denver, but I think LaShawn McCoy, he has an easy schedule going against the Jets and Alex Smith. Hopefully doesn't go ham on the Dallas Cowboys. But I am picking Tull just because he has that better core. But I wouldn't be surprised if he pulled it up.
Yeah, I think it'll be tight. I don't think it's going to be either way. It's just going to run away. So, Vic making the one official pick this week on that matchup. Next up, we got Game of the Week. The last matchup of the week is kind of a heavyweight matchup. We got Chris Powell's Switzer Sweets against Mark Wood's Straight Cash Homie. This is a tough one to pick because both these guys don't lose a whole lot. So they both manage to find a way to win week in, week out. So we'll see what everybody on the show thinks here. Vic, you go ahead and kick us off and tell us who you got in the Game of the Week.
My initial thought when I looked at it before I started diving into it, I had Mark because I just seen the bye with Gordon. So I was like, there's no way it's 7-1. This is actually a big game. It's for the number 1 seed going forward. So I'm going to start off with Mark's team. I'm not sure if he's going to switch out Wentz. I mean, why would he at this point? But he is going against Denver. He took a hit at running back. Obviously, that trade helped. I mean, it didn't help, but it hurt his blunt play. And then Marshawn Lynch, again, I'm just not a believer, and he's been proving me again why I'm right on that. And then Jeffrey, he's also against Denver this week. But Doyle is Brissett's favorite receiver, so he does have that. But I have Chris winning this one. But he's not going to get it from Kirk Cousins. He's been struggling, and he has Cooks and Gordon on bye. But I think Hunt will get it done for him. And I like Tate this week as he's playing in that slot, obviously. But Watkins, it's a gamble pick, and I think this is a perfect game of the week for us. Despite Cooks and Gordon being on bye, Chris Powell is going to win this one. But I don't have much props getting low. I do think it's going to be a battle, and it's going to be a war, and there will be blood, gentlemen.
There you go. I will. I'll take the second spot here. I'm going to roll with Woods this week. I think it's bold to play 2 tight ends in your lineup, and that's what it looks like he's going to do. But Jimmy Graham and Jack Doyle are both good options. I think Wentz is gonna ball out. I do like Marshawn Lynch's matchup against Miami. Hopefully he just doesn't run out on the field again. I think we'll be fine there. I think he's going to catch Chris a little bit on a down week, which is always hard to say because Chris has been as consistent as anybody in the league at winning. But this week I am going to roll with Woods pulling it out in the game of the week. If McKinnon wasn't on bye, I'd really slam dunk Mark Woods in this game because I'm a big fan there. And then he also does a bye with Chris Hogan, so I think it's a little bit of a challenging week for him. But I think he's going to end up pulling that out against Chris for the week. So we will let our guest wrap us up here on Game of the Week. And Nick, you tell us what you're thinking.
Yeah, a couple things I noticed. Both teams have pretty much a good amount of bye players. Both QBs have tough matchups. I think it's going to come down to defense. And Chris has Houston Texans going into Indy. Indy has been just almost atrocious. I think they go in there and they have a big day against the Indianapolis Colts. So I'm going to take Chris in this head-to-head matchup. I think it's very close, and I think this is a great game for our league and the future of our league. We need to have more games like this, and these teams like this make it forget week of football.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be a slugfest there. 7-1 against 7-1. You don't get that very often. So
it's a good thing we're playing because we need them to start losing.
Right, that's true. That's very true. Except neither one of them are in my division, so it's fine with me. They can win all they want until playoff time rolls around. Well, that's it for the week. As always, a stalwart on the show. I want to thank Mr. Rodriguez for being on with us again today. Our guest for the week, Mr. Nick Latouf.
Thanks for having me, guys.
We appreciate it. And, as always, best of luck unless you're playing Victor or me. I would say it was for the guest, but I can't really this week. It doesn't work like that. So, best of luck to me and Vic, and everybody else can just go to hell. So, that's it for the week. We'll see you guys. Let us know what you think, what you don't like, and what you like, and we'll roll from there. But next week, I think, just a heads up, I think our guest will probably be Terrence for the week. So be looking forward to that. And we'll see you guys. Hopefully everybody enjoys the games this week, starting with the Thursday night matchup. See you guys.